Hi, welcome back to my garden. It's kind of a drizzly morning here on Vancouver Island, but the birds are all singing and all the spring bulbs are looking amazing. I'm here by our little pondside cottage garden, so I thought I'd just pick up the camera and show you around, show you what's looking good right now. So we started this garden a couple of years ago. It was like summer 22. So this whole front side here was all grass. And then the back was all overgrown with bamboo. So we had to get somebody with an excavator in to come dig all the bamboo up. And then we were kind of like killing each like little thing that shot up for the next couple of years. But now I haven't seen any in a little while, so that's been good. We have a few different kinds of daffodil in here, generally like all white daffodils, just like different kinds. These ones have kind of a blushy center. In the pictures it looked very pink, which I feel like maybe would have been better color-wise, but they're still so cute. So I also really like different texture leaves and stuff. So this is like obsidian heuchera, and then the lady's mantle, which looks so cute with like the raindrops on it. I've never actually planted any of this. I just like dig them up because they kind of self-seed everywhere. Queen of the Night tulips, which kind of looks good with the color of this Japanese maple. Generally, the color theme for in here is like white, kind of red, purpley, burgundy colors, and then like silvery blues. Like there's the big spruce in the background. So kind of those types of tones, and then kind of anything else that like looks good with those things. I have a ton of hydrangeas in here, mostly the panicle ones that go kind of red in late summer. Over here, I planted a little bit of a peony hedge. So there was this big clump of peonies that was in a really shaded place that the previous owner had planted. And they had never bloomed while I was here because it was always too shady. So I dug them up and kind of split up the clump, and then bent over some dogwood canes and some of the bamboo canes actually, kind of to protect them from the dogs, and also so that they wouldn't like flop over once they got like the heavy blooms on. But yeah, anyway, this is like the best it's looked. It's its second year. So last year each clump had one bloom. This year I think each one will have a couple, and those are all kind of white as well. It's kind of horsetail central here. I kind of wait until they're a little bit bigger because I feel like they're easier to pull out. When they're really young, they kind of just snap, and then I feel like you're just like making more of them. You can see the allium here. These are I want to say like Mount Everest or something. They have like these huge pompons that grow. This is a native hazelnut, and I had to give it a hard prune, I guess like a year and a half ago. It was kind of, I think it had been pruned badly at some point and it was looking really overgrown. This one was really popular with the bears. They love the hazelnuts. So I'll put some footage of them enjoying that. And then I love kind of a stumpery vibe. So when this tree came down somewhere else in the garden, I split the root ball in half and then made kind of this entrance, which I think looks really cool. And it has like moss on it and stuff. So even in winter, it looks really nice. Yeah, these are the polar hunter daffodils. So these ones are supposedly one of the earliest to bloom, but we planted them really late. It was in like December at some point. So they only just came up now, but I think next year they may come up in kind of like end of February or March. You can see the little row of sweet peas down at the bottom. I just planted those a few days ago. And I have like this trellis here. I have 3 of them. So there's this one, that one, and then the other one's kind of behind that weeping willow. And those all have sweet peas on them. These tulips are so full. I think they were called bombastic red. And they look good, I think, with the Queen of the Night. And actually the hummingbird was kind of interested in the tulips too. I haven't really seen the hummingbirds on the tulips. I don't know if it like drank anything from them or if it was just like drawn by the color. I had started a little Ophiopogon river here. It's like, I want to say like black forest grass or something. I can't remember the name. These were all plugs, so they started really young. Once I weed it, you'll be able to see them a little better. But they're slowly starting to spread out a little bit, so that'll be great. Maybe in like 2 or 3 more years, it will be like full. All the lilies are coming up in the pond. This was one of the latest projects here, this big arbor. I came to this side so you could see it a little better. But it's all made from wood from the property, which is kind of cool. I was going for a little bit of like, I don't know, mid-century modern / slightly Japanese inspired aesthetic. I wanted it to be like really kind of sleek, but I think it looks really cool. And then growing up it, on this side I have this like weeping Atlas cedar, which completely defoliated last summer because I let it get a little too dry. But I noticed, if the camera focuses, that it has like, all the buds are looking really green, so I think it's gonna put out some fresh needles. And it's a pretty fast grower. I thought it would look nice having this kind of grow up one side and then dangling down. And then on the other side, I have our weeping redbud. So this one, the deer had decapitated. You can see where the old main stem was. But it fleshed out all this new growth, and it's a pretty vigorous grower. So the plan was to try to train it up and then have it just like droop and dangle. And it has those beautiful like dark burgundy heart-shaped leaves. And then recently we planted this Don Juan rose as well. We have one somewhere else in the garden. It's one of the favorites. It's like very floriferous, deep red velvety blooms with like a really strong scent. So kind of ticks all the boxes. So I thought that up and over too would be a nice combination with the other two. Another clump of peonies from somewhere in the garden that I transplanted and divided. You can see some of the buds slowly developing. Over here we have, I forget, I think these were called peppermint stick or zombie tulips. They're one of the like woodland ones that kind of slowly spread and clump up. So those are super cute. You can see the first of the dwarf irises. I love the kind of fuzzy purple tongues on these. There's lots more buds. These ones were just, again, one small clump, and they've just like spread really well. I planted this gunnera recently, tried to disguise the pot a little bit. I feel like they don't love our winters. Sometimes it's like wet and cold. I had tried once before, and where it had rained a lot and then froze, it kind of froze over the top of the plant and killed it. So I thought I'd keep it in the pot this time and then maybe just overwinter it somewhere like a little bit sheltered. We occasionally get like algae growing in this pond too. So I thought having something that was a vigorous grower to like suck up some of the nutrients might be helpful. There's so many little like water beetles and bugs and stuff in here right now. Slight detour. I built this covered bench recently. It was a surprise for Lewis while he was away. Oh my God, okay, detour on a detour. But I just noticed that the serviceberry is starting to bloom, which I'm really excited for. This is our native serviceberry, Amelanchier alnifolia. And it has really tasty berries too, so that's awesome. Anyway, yeah, I made this covered bench. Again, with wood from the property. The dogs also hang out here. You can see all the dog prints. But it's like perfect for when it's drizzling and you're out with the dogs and you just want a place to sit that's like dry. And it has a really sweet view of the cottage garden. I have these stumps here. I haven't really placed them, but I was kind of going for like the same vibe as the other side. So this will be the exit. I planted this and one other camellia. They're the ones that bloom in the fall. Sasanqua. This one doesn't look super happy. I'm hoping it's just because it was transplanted. Like the conditions should be pretty good for it here. It gets like some sun, but not too much. It doesn't get the evening sun. And we have rhododendrons and stuff, and I feel like they have a similar vibe. So hopefully that will adjust well. It hasn't actually bloomed for us yet. This is our native mock orange, which becomes like a nice big kind of vase-shaped shrub with very fragrant June white blossoms. So I'm excited for that. And just backtracking a little, lots more heuchera in here. I think it's a like cultivar of our native one, which is Heuchera micrantha, I think. And this is like a red leaf variety. I'll post a picture because it's like maybe better on a bright day. But I love the combination of these tulips with the bright red stems of the dogwood here. I planted all these dusty millers. I grew them from seed last year, and they overwintered pretty well. They're looking like pretty bushy. So that's part of the like kind of silvery blue element that I was going for. The native kinnikinnick or bearberry has like kind of pinky white flowers. Let me see if I can see any of the, you can see all the water bugs everywhere. I'll check from the other side to see if there's any tadpoles. These are burgundy colored martagon lilies. This little standard lollipop spruce. You can see all the new growth just about to come out, and it's like really kind of rubbery and tender. It's so cute. And then it becomes like hard and spiky later in the season. Lots of like camassias, lupins, alliums, and things all kind of getting ready for their own moment. This little Alberta spruce, also just like the new growth, is so cute. And I love kind of like a limey green as a contrast for the purples and the silvers. I also love cutting back all the old fern foliage because then this happens, the new growth comes out, and it's like you're not distracted by the old kind of raggedy growth from last summer that kind of gets dried out. And I just like love these little swirls. So many little like water bugs, probably mosquitoes and stuff too. But as soon as the tadpoles are out, I think they're going to start to eat them. So that should take care of that. Okay, ignore that blue tarp in the background. But I like how the that new arbor has like a cool reflection in the water too. And then I have a weeping Alaska cedar. So this one stays fairly narrow, but gets like really tall and droopy. So I thought that would look cool over here. And then I was thinking of maybe putting like a little bench over here or something, just so that you can like, something like really low down so you can like sit and enjoy everything at like flower level. And then continuing on, some more of the native dogwood. This is a, I don't remember the name. It's a willow that has like pretty variegated leaves. They're like white and green, and the stems are kind of corally pink in winter. So that's a pretty cool one. And this was our poor catalpa tree. So this one used to bloom so beautifully. It was like this huge tree. And then we had this really early snow like 2 years ago, so it got knocked over. And I didn't want to give up on it because I like love the tree so much. So I just cut off all the top growth. And then with a couple friends, we like righted it up and like staked it. Because I figured, kind of like with bonsai, where, you know, you cut the top and then you also cut the roots to match. Like in this case, the roots were already cut, so I cut the top to match them. And it worked because last year it put out like 10-foot tall new canes. And then I cut those back again this winter. So hopefully we'll try to get like a new structure. I might have to thin it a little bit, but eventually I'd like to stop pruning it and then just like let it do its thing so that it can bloom again for us. You can see all the native wild strawberries blooming in here. Also very exciting. I don't think we've ever gotten to eat those because I feel like the rabbits get to them first. But maybe one day. Yeah, here's more of the sweet peas. And then over here, there's like camasias. These are like the native one, the great camas, and it's the white variety. And then there's also some veronicastrum, some red bee balm. This is highland or high bush. This leaf looks a little funky. Cranberry. So it's a native, I'm trying to remember the family. Anyway, it's a native shrub, edible berries, really pretty leaves, and it likes it kind of wet, so perfect for here. Let the ladies out to hang out for a bit. They love exploring around here. I always find them like under the bigger shrubs, digging around, and sometimes they come out to sunbathe too. Yeah, so thanks for coming on this little tour. I feel like it's hard to pick a moment to actually film it because there's so many good moments throughout the season. Right now it's like peak daffodil tulip, but like the irises are starting, then it's like the alliums, the camasias, the lupins, the lilies. It kind of just like keeps going. So I think I'll have to film again in another month or so. But yeah, thanks for coming along for the tour, and I'll catch you next time.